Hello, good morning, amazing $1 million messengers. This is future executive Cadillac Senior Sales Director Mandy-Rae Summach Block coming to you all the way from Canada, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan to be exact, filling in for our amazing $1 million messenger and my dear friend Kali Brigham. Well, I have the incredible pleasure to fill in for her today, and it's just really been on my heart, legacy versus legend, crossing that line. Do you want to leave a legacy or do you want to be a legend? In this business, one of the most amazing things that we have is no ceiling, no limit. There is nothing that none of us can't do. And when Mary-Kay Ash created this company herself over 50 years ago, she created it with a dream in her heart, and God turned it into a legacy that now today, years later, her dream still lives on in the heart of all of us, and her legacy continues and will continue for years and years to come. And I think with leadership, that comes with a certain sense of responsibility too. Our lives are forever changed, regardless of where we are in the business, regardless of our career path level. We know that our lives are different for the better because of Mary-Kay. And so I think that it's so important to not only share the product, but share the opportunity, because we're going to get no's, we're going to get yeses, but our job isn't to worry about the results. Our job is to share what Mary-Kay Ash created so many years ago, and to create a legacy that she started and that we get to finish. And we all know that it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And so I just wanted to talk about the difference there, because the two are very different. Legacy is about others. Legend, it's about yourself. And if Mary-Kay Ash was concerned about being a legend, she wouldn't have the legacy that we all have and enjoy and support our families with today. It would really just be about her, and that's so not what she was about. She was about changing other people's lives. She was about taking herself out of the picture, allowing God to empower His children, and that's who we are. We need to remember that we are children of the Most High God. And so before I get totally off course with my notes today, I'll stick to what I have. So a couple things, couple differences. Leaders decide that the goal is done before they start, and then they break it down and they do the work, and they do whatever work it requires to wrap it up. Followers base their goals on how they feel. The finish is up to the feelings, and we should know, if you don't yet, let me share, feelings are not truth. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are our natural reactions to obstacles, life situations around us, but we have the emotional and mental capacity to create our decisions. Everything is a choice. Success is a choice. Quitting is a choice. It's all a choice. Success is a choice. And both experience obstacles that allow the opportunity for us to give up. If we start feeling great, we can still give up. If we start feeling not so great, we're probably more inclined to give up. But what I can tell you, 7 years into my business, so many obstacles, so many things have happened, like they do with all of us. I am so glad I never gave up, because I can only now, looking back, connect the dots and see how I've been used so far, and it's been such a privilege and a blessing to be used in that way. And looking forward in my future with my goals and my goal posters, we have a brand new seminar year, and I love the start of the seminar year. And July just seems like it flies by so quick, hey, because we start the new year, we're excited, and then we're prepping for seminar, then we're at seminar, then we're wrapping up from seminar, and then it's August. So I truly personally feel like August is the month where I really get a second. I take the time. I make the time, not take the time. We're all busy. I intentionally make that time with everything else going around me, because I know if I'm not focused, if I'm not clear, my legacy, Mary-Kay's legacy, what I know I'm called to complete, nothing of that will happen. And there's nothing more definitive than a made-up mind. You and I both know this, and I feel like we can all choose to figure it out or stay in the position you are even longer. You'll always be where you've always been if you always do what you've always done. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. If you want to talk about an amazing legacy, my amazing, incredible, beautiful sister, Michelle Goetz, was crowned the huge honor of being our Miss Go-Give at our Canadian seminar last week in July, and not being with us here today on earth, but smiling down from heaven. What a legacy. How inspiring that was for those that didn't even know her, to know the capacity and the just quantity of people that she touched, lives she changed forever because of who she was, because of the legacy she was committed to from Mary Kay Ash, from her calling, from God. I mean, she was all about other people, and it was no surprise when she won, but it was pretty emotional. I mean, not only did she win that incredible honor, of course, but her husband, my brother-in-law, Mike, came out, accepted the award on her behalf. I mean, I was holding strong until he came out, and even though I knew it was going to happen, that was a whole other story as soon as I saw my brother. But I just was reminded that it's not where you start, it's how you finish. Michelle always reminded me that at her very first large event, a Christmas open house, she sold one eye cream, one firming eye cream. That was it. I think the second year, I think she said she sold maybe 3 items. The third year, she sold, I think, a handful. And it was the fourth year where she retailed over $4,000 in one day. And it's not where you start, it's where you finish. The legacy that she has left, the legacy that I am now so privileged and blessed to continue, and I just feel so called to. I mean, when passion and purpose meet, commitment is really, really easy because you not only know your why, but you know what you're passionate about. And it doesn't matter how much time it takes. It doesn't matter how much time you have to schedule, how much time you have to manage, what obstacles come your way. None of that matters because when passion and purpose meet, your commitment is really, really easy. And then you get to be a part of creating a legacy. Maybe it's continuing someone that's been in the business before you. Maybe you don't have anyone necessarily so intricately connected, and so you're directly coming just from Mary Kay Ash. Maybe you have the Mary Kay lineage directly from her or from other huge nationals that really pioneered this company, you know, like Ann Newberry, Shirley Hutton. You know, there are big names that really created the company from Mary Kay Ash and for what it is today. But, you know, whatever legacy you're called to, feel a part of, or want to create, I just encourage you to take yourself out of the picture, because when you take yourself out of the picture, you get to focus on others. It's literally impossible not to. And it's not about being a legend. It's about creating a legacy. And people love what they help to create. They are loyal to what they help to create. You know, when anybody is a part of something, they are 1,000 times more likely to stick with that cause, that purpose, that decision, that change, whatever it is, because they help create it. So, you know, with all the amazing promotions that we have right now, the Red Jacket bonus, you know, all of the incredible commission enhancements, that the company has given us, there are so many reasons for so much cash in this company. But that aside, what legacy are you creating? What bigger than you picture are you choosing to be a part of? And again, it is a choice. You have to fight for what you want. If you don't, who will? You know, and I had so much fun tonight. I got to take some of my directors to the new Lion King, which, P.S., if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, it's so good. Not only is Beyonce, spoiler alert, but it is so good. And we all know the story. We've seen the movie, most of us. I highly recommend that you see the new one. But regardless, at the end, you know, when when Simba challenges Scar, you have to fight for what you want. If we don't, no one else will. And we are called to be the best version of ourselves. We are intricately and wonderfully made. Nobody is like the other person. God knew us before we were even an idea in our parents' minds. And He knows the number of hairs on our head. He knows what's before us. He knows what comes after us. He knows everything about us. And so our only job is to be the best version of us that we can be, because then that also eliminates comparison. That also eliminates thinking that you are less than, that you are not deserving. I mean, at the end of the day, any goal, any situation, any circumstance where you're frustrated or you're feeling guilty or, you know, you're just not feeling great, it's all deserve level. It's always all deserve level. We might not think it is. We might fight that that's what it is, but it's all about deserve level. And so if you just go back to the fact that you are wonderfully and intricately made, if you just go back to trying to be and working on becoming the best version of yourself, you're not going to care about what's going on around you. You're not going to care about what other people are doing. You're going to be committed. Pardon me, I'm so excited. You're going to be committed to the legacy that you're creating, continuing, or starting. And your passion and your purpose are going to be intricately met, and your commitment is not going to be an issue. It's never an issue. When we're excited about our business, when there are things happening, how hard is it to get up in the morning? Not at all. We get up earlier than we normally would. We get up excited. We get up way more passionately than when we're not working. Because when we're not working, there's not a lot going on. And so why would we be motivated? Why do we want to get up in the morning? It's not a surprise. Stop pretending to be surprised when we're not personally doing the work. So we don't feel like getting up in the morning. We just are more tired. Let me just be the first to personally say from personal experience, when I'm not working, my personal business, as much as I know I have or should have been, in the past, it was way harder for me to get up in the morning. But when you are committed to something and when you are you are a part of something bigger than yourself, it is not hard to get up in the morning. It is not hard to put in the extra hours. It is not hard to do that extra 2%. And as leaders, as directors, you are the top 2% of the 2%. And national sales directors, if that's a dream in your heart, this company is always one generation away from losing the foundations and the values of God first, family second, and career third. If you don't fight for it, who will? And I don't know if you can tell the passion in my voice. I don't know if you talk to me or if you know me personally, but those that do know I have a purpose. And I know and just recently have been reminded that when your passion and your purpose meet, your commitment's really, really easy. What's your goal for August? If you eliminate the month of June, so you always take one month away from your year, right? Because then you're never sad at the end of the year because you always have an extra month to reevaluate before the end of your year. But if you take this year and you eliminate June of 2020, you have 10 months. We have 10 months. What do you want to do in those 10 months? Break that down. What do you want to do before leadership? I hope everybody is at those leadership parties, regardless of your goal. By being on track for those parties and attending, you are in such a small group of such influential people in this company, Canada and the U.S., and that was always a goal of mine. And, if for some of you your goal was just to make it through seminar, that was really my goal this year. It was really emotional. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was intense. But if some of your goal was just to attend your first seminar, congratulations. That's one of the hardest decisions and the best decisions you'll ever have to make because fear is always going to be there. We feel the fear and we do it anyways. And let me tell you, I'm always glad I do that. But fear is just a feeling. And through this business, as you go through more obstacles, you will encounter pain because change is uncomfortable. And if you're going to move up from the level you are right now, expect that. Don't be surprised. But pain and success go together. Success, however, is how you finish if you choose to finish with success. And I can just tell you, being able to pick up my Cadillac, my brand new Cadillac, first Cadillac I've ever earned a few days before seminar, and then having to leave that while I was at seminar, oh my gosh, I missed that car so much. When I came home, I literally was stroking it. I was just like, oh, I missed you so much. And I would have given up any time in the last 7 years for a disappointment, an obstacle. If I felt like working, or pardon me, let me rephrase. If I only worked the amount of days that I felt like working since my sister passed, I probably would have worked a week from October to June. And I give all the glory, honor, and praise to God because I know it is His strength in me that allowed me to do what I did. But what I want to communicate and what I want you all to hear, if nothing else, is what legacy are you called to be a part of? Are you creating or are you continuing? Because legacy is what withstands everything and anything. Legacy is what is bigger than yourself. Legacy is allowing yourself to take yourself out of the picture and look around and see the bigger picture. When you're in an obstacle, when you're in a circumstance, don't live there. Try your hardest to think of your vision, not your circumstance, so that you can live in your vision when life happens, so that you can stay in your vision when obstacles come up and you don't stay in your circumstance, you don't stay in the victim mode, and you don't stay less than God created and called you to be. So I hope that touched somebody's heart today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you. It is an honor and a privilege, and I am so blessed to be able to have been asked by Kali. So just remember, be the best version of you that you can be, and you'll never be disappointed. Be blessed, be strong, be brave. Coming to you from Canada, Future Executive Cadillac Senior Sales Director, Mandy-Rae Summach Block.